welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Jessie and I make videos all about houseplants and houseplant related topic. That's my cat trying to get into my room. Let's get into today's video. If you're watching this video on the week of October 18th, which is when this video is going live, I am like 80 subscribers left until I reach 1,000 subscribers. I don't even know, like, thank you. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I adore you guys so much. There are no words to say thank you enough. I think that this channel is about to be monetized, which is like amazing and weird and crazy, and I could never have imagined that that would happen when I started this channel. So thank you guys so much for being here. I adore you all. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already and you'd like to support me and you want to help me on my journey to get monetized. That'd be cool. But also don't subscribe if you don't feel like it. That's totally fine too. I adore you for watching this video either way. I have made 1 or 2 wish list videos in the past talking about plants that I really wanted, that I, like are on the top tier of what are plants that I want to buy. And as is with most, I think, plant wish lists, all of the plants on there were like expensive and are expensive. So needless to say, when I buy a new wishlist plant or whenever I get a new wishlist plant, I get very excited about them. Since I've been here in Seattle, I've been able to acquire like a fair few more of my wishlist plants. Number one, because Seattle has like more plant stores in the area. And also just because I was on like a buying hold for a long time when we were in Buffalo. I couldn't really buy any new plants because we were moving. So since we moved here, I've gotten several plants that I wanted checked off my wish list. So I want to talk about those plants today and show you what I've gotten. And then also at the end, I'm going to tell you what are like the 5 plants that are at the top of my wish list now currently, after I've actually gotten some of the plants that I've been really wanting. So let's get into it. The first plant, the plant that really inspired me to make this video, is the most recent plant that I have bought. Well, actually that's not true. There's one more, but this is one of the most recent plants that I bought. I showed this plant in my last video if you didn't see it. And this right here inspired this video because this is a Hoya obovata variegata, or a variegated Hoya obovata. And I have wanted this plant for so long, probably like a good 1.5 years that this has been on my wish list. Let me just mention now, but as always, I'm gonna be telling you the prices of every plant in this video that I paid for them, just so you know. Anyway, this plant I paid under $50 for, I think $49. It was originally priced at $54, and because I spent so much money at the nursery that I got it from, I had like a $10 off coupon, so I was able to use that. $50, $49 is like a really good price for this, I think, because I've seen them go anywhere from like $80 to $100. So I was super excited to find this plant, and I was really scared that I would bring it home and it would face like an adjustment period. Like, I don't know if you know anything about like Hoyas, but sometimes Hoyas, when you bring them home, they lose like their delicate leaves if they like get shocked, basically. Like they'll just drop them and then have to start over. But it seems to me like these little leaves are actually growing bigger since I brought it home. So I'm so excited to have this plant. I think it's so beautiful, gorgeous, and I love it, and I'm just thrilled to own it. Oh my god, I love it. We will just stay on the Hoya train for this next one, and I will show you my only other Hoya in this video that has been on my wish list for a while. And this is a Hoya Mathilde, or a Hoya Mathide. Correct me in the comments, I do not know how to say it. But this is a Hoya Mathilde or Mathide. It has the most dainty, cute little, roundish little leaves. I love this Hoya. I got it from actually the same nursery that I got several of these plants from, the same obovata and a few of these others as well. And it cost me $80 at the time that I bought it, which I think was a decent price. Honestly, like I could have gotten it cheaper on Etsy. I definitely could have. But I wanted it, and I had been wanting it for a really long time. And so when I saw it in person, I was like, I'm gonna buy that plant. I don't really care that it's like a little bit more than what I could get on Etsy. I didn't care. And honestly, I've already been able to propagate one little piece of it, which I had sold for $20. And then I just this morning cut off, because it had like a runner with like 4 extra leaves and then like a long runner on the top. I just cut off that top cutting as well. Then I'm gonna start propagating just to make a little bit of extra money back on it. And I try and do that with a lot of my expensive plants if it's possible. I don't want to ruin the integrity of the plants. Like, you'll see in one of my next plants, it doesn't, like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to chop it, and that's fine. So for a plant that like has like, or grows in such a way that you can't really chop it, I don't do that. But for any plants that I do have the opportunity to sort of give them a chop and then propagate them, I do that so I can just make a little bit of money back, because this hobby is expensive, okay? If you're watching me, you guys probably know that. It's very expensive to have these plants, but I love this. It is one of my current favorite plants that I have. I had wanted it for such a long time. Honestly, I wanted it since Jenna Marble showed off hers in her video, which was easily 3 years ago now. So I'm so happy to have it. It's so cute. I love it. The next plant that I'm going to talk about is this guy right here. It's going to be the only plant that's like a cheaper plant that was on my wish list for a long time. And that is a bear paw succulent. And I actually was able to pick up this plant today at our local nursery that was just down the street. We stopped in there after we got some coffee this morning, and we just popped in and I saw that they had them. And this has been something that has been like in the back of my mind that I've wanted for a long time, but not necessarily like on my wish list. But I've just always kind of been like, oh yeah, I want to get one of those one a day. Like, I want to get one, I want to get one. But I never like, you know, I had looked at them online for a while, but I'm just like, they have such delicate little leaves that I didn't want to order one online. So I had always told myself, like, if I see them in person one day, I'm gonna pick one up. And that today was that day. And so I saw this guy in stores today, and you can see it has like the little bear paw little leaf. And honestly, it was a super good price. It was $3.98, so it was only $4. And I'm so happy. I think it's so cute. Normally, I don't really like succulents. You've probably seen some of my anti-haul videos where I anti-hauled succulents. And that is pretty much mostly true for most succulents. I'm not really a fan, but there are certain succulents that really like grab me, and this one is one of them because it's fuzzy and it looks like little paws. I love it. I love it. It's so cute. And I have it in this little thrifted pot right now that I just got in my last thrifting video. If you want to watch that video, I will link it here for you, but it is so cute. Look at it. The next plant that actually was on my wish list for a while is the plant that's actually sitting right next to me right here. And this is a gigantic MONSTERA deliciosa. Now you might be like, Jess, that's not an exciting or exotic plant. Why was that on your wish list? And you'd be right. But here's the thing. I have been wanting like a gigantic MONSTERA for a really long time, for probably like a good 2 years. And I have not been able to buy any large plants for a good, year since we decided that we were gonna move. So it's been a long time coming that I wanted to get one of these, because I wanted one of those like MONSTERAs that you see with like the gigantic leaves and the gigantic fenestrations. And this plant, oh, I took the sticker off of it, so I actually don't remember. I think it was like $16. It was under $20, I know that for a fact. So for this size, under $20, I picked it up sort of recently, like maybe 3 weeks ago. The new growth is like fully fenestrated right here. So I think in the next like few leaves, I'm gonna start to get like really gigantic, big, fenestrated leaves, which I'm so excited about. Like, that is all I've been wanting from a MONSTERA for such a long time. I have a small MONSTERA, like Borsigiana variety, like a small guy, which is actually in my classroom at school. And I've had that for like 3 years or so, but I've wanted a big, gigantic one for such a long time. So I'm so happy to have this. I know it's not like super exotic, but I'm so thrilled to own it. I've been wanting a big one for so long, so I love her. Okay, the next plant is one of the most expensive plants in this video, and this right here is a Philodendron Florida Ghost. And it may not look like it right now because its newer leaves, like I guess this would be its newest leaf, isn't like super variegated, but this leaf has been out since I bought it. So the status or the story behind this plant is I got it recently at, I think it was around, yeah, it was on Labor Day. I got it on Labor Day at one of my favorite nurseries that I go to all the time, where I get a bunch of my rare plants. And it was originally $120, and I probably wouldn't have bought it for that price because it's like a little torn up. I actually had to cut one of the leaves off originally because it was like super ratty, because the leaf on it was like super ratty. And then this one right here is also like missing a little piece of the leaf. But it was 20% off for Labor Day, which means I think I paid like what, $95 for it? Yeah, I think I paid like $95 for it, which I think is a really good price for a Florida Ghost. I don't know, maybe it's not, maybe that's not a good price, but I don't care because I really love it and I wanted one for so long. Ever since I think Kaylee Ellen showed hers like years ago, literally years ago, I have been wanting one of these, and they're just so expensive, and it had never been the right time. And it was finally the right time for me to get this plant, and I love it. And when I bought it, its little like tip was like down here, and now it's up here, and I can see like the leaf maybe starting to emerge. So I am so excited. I'm really nervous. Like, this plant caused me a lot of anxiety because I'm scared that I'm not going to do right by it and it's going to die. But honestly, so far it's doing very well. It's very, like, it's in very high light, because somebody in one of the comments on my videos where I showed when I bought this plant told me to keep it in super high light and that'll make it grow fast. And I don't know, I think they're right, because look at this guy. So I love it. And if you have more care tips for me down below, let me know, because I'm so anxious about keeping this plant alive. Here's the thing. I have 2 more plants to show you that I have crossed off my wish list. And I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm nervous to show you them because they don't look so great right now. And not only does that make me super sad, but it also makes me embarrassed. And it makes me feel like I'm not qualified to be on the internet with a plant channel. But honestly, I'd rather just be honest and tell you that I struggle with plants sometimes too. And it is what it is. So I'm just gonna show you these next few plants. I still love them. They still have a huge place in my heart, and I'm desperately trying to modify their environment to make them look better. So I don't know. If you see them, give me some tips. I don't know. I'm gonna show you. Let me just get into it. This right here is my Syngonium Pink Splash. Now, I love her. She's beautiful. She originally, when I first bought her, had 3 more leaves like right here, which were super highly variegated, like bright, bright, bright pink. And I chopped them off and propagated them, and actually just sold it yesterday to somebody to make a little bit more money back on this plant. So what I had originally paid for this was $80, and it was 20% off also with the Florida Ghost at the time. So I paid $80 for the plant, and it was bigger, so it had like more leaves up here. So I think that was a fair price for it. Obviously, like, these are kind of expensive. The thing is, you can probably see, I mean, you definitely can see, it's like yellowing. And also, I mean, this right here is from a tofu chomp. As you can tell from this video, she's a menace to society and a menace to my plants. And so sometimes that happens, and that's not really like a me problem. But this is a me problem. And also, this one is yellowing too. And I don't really know why. I think it's because it's been too close to the grow light that I have it under, which is a Soltech grow light. And it's the big Soltech one, so it's like throwing out a lot of light. So I moved it a couple of feet away from it to try and like fix that issue. I don't even know if that seems to be helping though. Like, it's still yellowing, like it's still like getting more and more yellow. So I just don't know. I'm doing my best. I have my humidifier going next to it, directly next to it, pretty much all the time. I still love it. I still think it's beautiful. I love this plant, and I had wanted this plant for such a long time. So long, in fact, that one of my subscribers on here, Caroline, she's amazing. She sent me a milk confetti plant, which also has like pink, beautiful splashes on the leaves, because she had seen it. She saw me mention that I wanted this plant. So I'm so thrilled to own this plant. I'm also thrilled to own the other one, and I love the pink variegation on it, and I just want it to be okay. I think it will be okay. Like, if you can see this little stake right here, it is about to throw out another leaf. Like, it's growing back from where I cut it. It's just yellowing a little bit, and I'm gonna try and do everything I can do to stop that. If you have any tips for me, let me know. Regardless, I love it, and I'm gonna try and do right by it as best as I can. Last one I'm also kind of sad about. Okay, this last one here is a Epipremnum pinnatatum variegata. In other words, it is a variegated Cebu blue plant. Now, here's the thing. She just looks bad. She don't look good. She looks super ratty. When I got this plant, I originally paid $105 for it, and it had it was probably exactly this length. And then it had one like gigantic leaf coming out of the stalk that broke off in shipping. I just couldn't save it because it was like dangling off. So it had like a big leaf here, and it had like a nice long stalk with a fair amount of leaves. And I ended up chopping it up when I had first purchased it because I spent a lot of money on it and I wanted to make some of my money back. So I've chopped this plant twice. Now I've chopped it right here. You can see this little beep beep. And then right here as well, you can see that. So it has grown, like it's growing right here. The thing is, the leaf that it's putting out is like a little bit cracked, like it has a little bit of a piece missing off the leaf, which is fine, like it's fine. At least it is growing, but it just lost, you can see this is the remains of it. It just lost the leaf that I had like right here. So now it looks like so sparse, and I don't know why it lost that leaf. I'm thinking it had something to do also with the grow light. Like I think that the grow light that I have up here is just like too bright. Like basically I'm gonna try and raise it higher and like just fiddle around with the plant setup. I mean, I'm new here to this apartment, so I don't know. Maybe I just have to do some more like finagling to find better spaces for my plants. I love this plant though. Like this plant to me is like, oh, gorgeous, like stunning. I love it. It is beautiful. Probably what I will do is once like a few leaves come out the top here, because I don't want to like chop it every single time a new leaf comes out. So I'll probably wait till like 1 or 2 more leaves comes out the top, and then I'll chop it into like multiple pieces, including like this node here, and then try and like propagate a new leaf from them, and then like replant them in the soil and try and make it grow upwards. I don't 100% know, like I'm hoping it just hangs on for me and it just starts looking a little better. I don't know, I think it will, like it's not dying, it looks fine, it just is like, it looks a little sad, okay? So if you have tips for me, let me know. I still love it. I wanted this plant for like a good year, and one day I just bought it like completely out of the blue, and I probably shouldn't have because I didn't have the money. But I've made more money back on this plant than I ended up spending on it. Like overall, the amount of times I snipped it, I'm in the green on this plant, so I definitely don't regret it, and I love it, and it's beautiful. I just want it to look a little better. Alright, for the last part of this video, I just want to tell you what are my like top 5 wish list plants that I'm really on the lookout for right now. Plants that I really want to bring into my home in this upcoming next year, I guess. So we'll start with, like the least desired to the most desired, but this is kind of just like randomized. But the first one that I really want is going to be a Philodendron Silver Sword. And I have seen them actually since I came to Seattle. The nursery just down the street from me had them, and they were selling them for only $25. Like that was a really good price. I think they've come down a lot in price over the last year or so. I didn't buy it, and I regret not buying it, and I went back like a few days later and they were all gone, and they had several of them. So I love the blue, like tinted turquoisey color of their leaves. I don't have anything in my collection that looks like that, so I'm definitely on the hunt for one of those, and I think I'll be able to, like, that one out of all of the ones on this wish list, I think will be one of the most easily acquired because they're pretty reasonable in price now. I just have to keep my eyes peeled for them, but I really want one. Next on my list that I really want to get, and if you've been on this channel for a while, you will know, I still get comments about it sometimes of people being like, hey, I think I found one of these for a reasonable price, and then every time I look, it's like sold out. But the next one that I really want to get is a global green pothos. I've been wanting one of these for about a year, so much so that I actually bought an emerald pothos, which I love. I still have it. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I love the variegation on the emerald pothos, but the global green pothos variegation is just like a little brighter, a little bit more eye-catching. So I really want to get one of those soon. They're pretty expensive still, and I've never seen them in stores, ever. I don't even know, like, realistically what they look like in person. I've only seen them on Etsy. They're like $25 for like one small little stem, like one stem. So like a full plant is like a lot of money. So, you know, I'm keeping my eyes peeled for it. I've been wanting them for a while, so I feel like eventually I will just buy one. But for now, that's on my wish list. Next, I really want to get a Philodendron Melanochrysum, which I feel like a bad plant mom because I feel like most plant parents, that's like one of the first rarer plants that they get in their collection, especially because they're like in a decent price range. But I don't have one, and I've been wanting one for like 2 years now. I think that they're so much prettier than their Micans counterpart. Like I have a regular Micans in my apartment, and I love it. I think it's very pretty, and it's one of my favorite like hanging plants. And the Melanochrysum is like even prettier than that with the fuzzy leaves and the velvet. Oh, I love them. And I really want to get one sometime soon, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna keep my eyes out, but they're so pretty and I want one. All right, the next one on my list that I really want to get, that I really honestly, realistically, I don't see it happening anytime soon because I have been looking for them. And that is a HOYA variegata Manualoa. I don't know how to say it. But it is like the variegated version of the Compacta Hoya, but not the white version, because I have the white version behind me, and I love that. I scored that for $18, side note. But this version is like sort of yellowish, like yellow-green variegation. They are beautiful, so stunning, and they're also unbelievably expensive. So I was looking at Etsy yesterday, and there was one US seller selling them on Etsy, and they were asking $310 for a 4-inch pot. So that's not in my budget right now. So I don't see myself getting one of those anytime soon, but I'm keeping my eyes peeled because they're so pretty, so pretty. Last but not least, the plant that I've wanted for the longest amount of time. I wanted this plant longer than any of these plants that I've wanted, and I still don't have one yet, and that is a MONSTERA Thai constellation. Honestly, I feel like a bad plant YouTuber in saying that I don't have a variegated MONSTERA, because those are like the plants, you know, it's either like the elbow or the Thai constellation, but those are like the plants that make you like a plant collector. But I don't have either one of them, and I really want one. I really want the Thai constellation because I like the like splashy patterning on them a little bit more than I like the elbow. And I don't know, there have been many times where I've almost ordered one, but they're so expensive that I've been nervous to order one online because, you know, if I order a plant that's $100 online and it comes like in not great shape, it's like, it's $100, you know? But like they're like $500 or more, and that's so much money to get like a crummy plant that comes in the mail. So I just haven't gotten one. Also, it's not in my budget right now anyway, but you know, like in the past, there have been times where I've almost bought one and I just haven't yet. I hope that by the end of like the 2022 school year, because I'm a teacher, I think about my life in like school years rather than regular years. So I'm hoping that by like June or May, I will be able to get one. Like that is my goal for this school year, is to get myself a Thai constellation because I love them. But that is it. Those are all the plants that I want. Those are my top 5 on the wish list right now. Let me wrap this video up because I have been talking for a long time. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end, I adore you because I feel like I've been really talking for a long time. Anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. Leave me a comment down below with any tips for me. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what your wish list plants are, because I'm always looking to add more plants to my wish list. So if you have some that I didn't mention, let me know because I may be adding them to my wish list. Also, I respond to all comments down in the comments, so let's chat down there. Like this video if you want to support me. I adore you all, and I will see you in my next video on Monday. Bye guys!